I wanted to open this video up by talking about the headline that the NHL website used for Team USA's victory over Denmark. Phew, SA. Now, for whatever reason, this title looks really, really bad, in my opinion. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But earlier yesterday, we did see the Americans survive a scare from Team Denmark. They can win Group C today, depending on what happens against Team Germany. They will be playing off about 2 hours from the time this video gets public on YouTube. The reason I wanted to talk about USA hockey, though, is because of a very particular name that, unfortunately, has not been given any playing time. You're looking at him on the screen. My friends, Clayton Keller has not played a game. He's on the Utah Mammoth. He has gotten himself 54 points in 57 games. He is on pace for 77 points in 82 games, which admittedly is a decline from what he had done last year as the captain of the Utah Hockey Club. Make no mistake, they're not the same team. It was the Utah Hockey Club back then. They're the Mammoth now. He had 90 points in 81 games last season, 30 goals and 60 assists, on top of an 80, a 70, a 60-point year with Arizona. He has been a producer. He has been super skilled. He's very versatile. He's smart. He reads the game well. He's got hands. Clayton Keller is an all-around offensive dynamo. And he has not played a game for Team USA. Now, if you take a look at some of the guys that have played games for Team USA, this is where you start to get a little bit interested in what's exactly going on with the dynamic of how this team is structured. Now, there are no guys who have only played one game. There are only guys who have played 2 and who have played 0. You have Jackson Lacombe and Clayton Keller who have not suited up for a game. Everybody else has suited up so far. Pointless players on Team USA are Kyle Connor, Charlie McAvoy, Jake Sanderson, Dylan Larkin, unfortunately, and JT Miller. Here's the thing. When it comes to the comments made by Mike Sullivan on Clayton Keller's role for Team USA, he went out there and said that Clayton is on this team for a reason. We know if we put him in the lineup that he's a guy that can help us win. The hard part is, when you have a team like we have, it's an all-star team. Only so many players can play every night. And that is the reply that he has when he was asked why has Clayton Keller not played yet. Mike Sullivan has a very particular set of answers when it comes to this, and it's not going to go out there and dismiss what people are saying is a pretty bad coaching choice. In fact, on this Twitter thread itself, Mike Sullivan says that, yeah, Clayton Keller, he can help us win, but we have so many good players, we're an all-star team. All the replies are absolutely roasting JT Miller. Let's just go out there and read this, man, because it's pretty funny. Explain JT Miller starting over Clayton Keller when Keller is clearly better than JT. The answer? Mike Sullivan coaches Miller and Trocheck in the NHL. That's it. We are choosing politics over gold. It's so dumb. Keller would have at least 1 to 2 goals by now. BS answer. JT Miller looks like trash. Kyle Connor has been totally irrelevant. I haven't heard Dylan Larkin's name once. You can't tell me Keller wouldn't be playing better than all 3 of those guys right now. And Cole goes out there and says, no, he's got a point. Unfortunate as it is, Clayton Keller is a very dominant and offensively successful forward, and when you compare him to some of the other guys that are consistently getting minutes, I mean, JT Miller is the big one. Everybody is talking about him. I mean, if we take a look at this, and we head over to the quote tweets, this is where we'll see most of JT Miller discourse really take over. Put Keller on the ice instead of JT Miller. I'd bench Larkin for Keller right now. Put him in. Enough with JT Miller, FFS. And there are more JT conversations over here. Explain why JT Miller plays him over these guys. I have a hard time caring about this team with Mike Sullivan riding the bench in the way that he is. bench Connor, Miller, or Trocheck, Keller for Trocheck, yada yada yada. There are so many conversations to have about JT Miller, and this is another one that I also wanted to talk about too. Posted by Suzuki Cult yesterday during the USA-Denmark game, Jeremy Swayman publicly beefing with locker guy JT Miller, LMFAO. What happened? I'm not watching. I don't know. He was mad about the half-assed block, or the sort of screen that Miller put on him on Denmark's third goal. But he stared Miller down. And that obviously is not the way you want to see a goaltender react to a guy blocking a shot. It had to have been the laziest attempt at blocking a shot with just a couple of seconds left to go in the second period. We all know that Team Denmark ended up scoring in the last few seconds of the second to begin with, and JT is the guy who is right there. Last second of the period, he just doesn't really commit to blocking that shot, and it ends up going in. So, right there, you've got Jeremy Swayman staring down his guy JT in front of him. It doesn't even seem like it's just the fans. Maybe there are players on Team USA also ticked off at this dude. The captain of the New York Rangers, who went out there and said before the Olympic break began that, hey, if we want to fix up our mentality, if we want to get a message out there to the New York Rangers before this Olympic break, I honestly have no idea what that is. What a total leader JT Miller is. And now, with his play at the Olympic Games, not only does he have 0 points, but might I also remind you that he was directly involved in 2 of the goals getting disallowed to open things up for Team USA in their game against Team Latvia. Now, they ended up winning 5-1. That's fine. But might I remind you, JT was not necessarily offside on the first disallowed goal. I mean, he was a part of it, but Quinn Hughes ended up getting the marker. It was offside by Brock Nelson, but JT was also in the mix in that little play. And then the second disallowed goal against Latvia, it was JT Miller who was in front of the goalie, who ended up touching the goalie ever so slightly, which resulted in a goaltender interference call and the play being called back. Beautiful tip in front by Brock Nelson, but JT is the reason why that goal didn't count. So from him pretty much contributing negative offensively to Team USA, to fans of the Americans going out there and continuously talking about how JT isn't really worth it to be on this squad over a guy like Clayton Keller. I mean, doesn't really look like a good situation here for Team USA. And I wanted to make this video at this time as well because the Americans are playing off against Germany later in today's festivities. So if there is some sort of a lineup change, if Mike Sullivan benches his New York Rangers captain for Clayton Keller, then that would be a totally new development that I don't think anybody would have seen coming. But as of right now, just the way that this is shaping up, it's not looking good for Clayton Keller, a very skilled and talented player who is being treated as an extra. And it's even more frustrating when you look at all the other Americans that weren't placed on Team USA. I honestly think that between Trocheck, Miller, Keller, and Jason Robertson, for example, you could have made some better decisions with the way this team is being deployed and whom it is was actually selected to be on the team in the first place. So with all that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about JT Miller and the way that fans are talking about this guy. They are pissed that he's in the lineup, that he's doing the things he's doing, and that Clayton Keller is not getting a chance to shine. The Americans, man, it's going to be a tough game. You've got Leon Draisaitl, Timmy Stu, and Lucas Reichel on the other end. Thoughts in the comment section below how that's going to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.